So I just deleted my first Facebook Live video in 3 years. And I'll be honest, it felt good deleting it. I was like, this is exactly the right thing to do. And at the same time, I walked away after this was just like mere minutes ago, no more than a half hour ago. Uh, I walked away and it was weighing on me. It was weighing in my mind, saying, for 3 years I have made long, rambly, sometimes super compelling, sometimes not compelling at all videos. Some were bad, some were great audio quality, some were really bad audio quality. Some started with me knowing that we were live and some not. And I kept all that up there. But I took this one down and I wanted to slow down a little bit as to why. What was going on with this video that made it such that I'm like, no, I'm going to bring this one back down. I downloaded it before I removed it, so you can check out the comments. I'll upload it again. Hopefully, I'll be able to easily upload it into this space. But I wanted to live, and I'm changing the context of what that video was, right? In the way that it lived beforehand, it had a different context. Now it's the video that got deleted, that which should not be seen. So just know that like it may be impossible to experience that context as it was originally sent out. I felt it was important to come here and talk about this live because this actually speaks to something that's been happening behind the scenes, and part of the reason behind the scenes is taking place is because uh, it feels very exposing. It feels very exposing. The last month, on February 17th, I had a conversation in a mastermind that I'm in. And as you know, I believe in group and community experiences where for deep conversation as well as personal and professional transformation. And as I was leaving that mastermind, I mentioned just as almost like a passing thought that oh, and this reminds me of when I had my movement back in the day, and the people in the group were like. Like that's a record scratch. Record scratch. You had a movement. How have we been knowing you for months, meeting for months, and we had no idea that you had this movement? And that really got me. Over the last month, I've been really exploring this idea of how, like, why didn't they know, so on and so. Actually, it was actually within like 2 days I explored that idea, and what ended up coming out was, oh, it's time. It's time for me to step into really being a movement leader, as opposed to playing at it or to having different ad hoc events and experiences that are in alignment with a movement, should a movement exist, right? And I got to think about what life was like back when I used to talk about the movement. It's the World Joy movement. And even now, you can still see that, like, I'm not leading with it. It's still kind of coming in, kind of through the back door. So there's still more work that I'll be doing on this. But the idea of leading a movement really spoke to me right now because I feel complete on my personal journey as to like who I am being in the world. And like, does Niiamah show up in the world in an authentic, true and consistent manner? And for the most part, I'm like, the answer is yes. There's still more growth, and I'm looking forward to putting myself in spaces and opportunities to go there. But I think that what's necessary right now is a container that is larger than myself in order to really like get to the so what of it all, right? I feel awesome. It feels awesome to be finally in a place of just integrity with myself, such that I can be all of who I am. And there's something I want to do with that. Actually, there's something that's actually being called for me to do it. It's not even what I want is just to like just relax and rest on that. But there's something deeper that's being called out, something higher that's being called out of me, and it's time to listen to that and answer that call. So for the last month, I feel like I haven't been as present. That's actually interesting. I've been online. You've probably seen me in different places, but I've actually kind of stepped away from one-on-one conversations. Different people have reached out. I've been really slow to respond back, and it's because my mindset has been in this space of like, how do I create myself as movement leader? Everyone, and this here, the second part of this is why I deleted the video. How do I show up in a way such that other people see me as movement leader? Right. That was what was coming on. the last 3 years has been just, I've been very upfront and vocal and visible, maybe not vocal, but visible about my transformation and the journeys that I've been going on. And I specifically have not been playing too much as the authority or guru or expert in trying to teach you how to be more authentic or to own more of who you are. There are times where I've had several videos that have gone out and there have been pockets of time and those are recorded. But for the most part, I'm out there coaching others and I'm sharing my own journey along the way. And it's led from multiple kind of branding changes from enjoyment to Nemo Ashong to Niiamah Ashong. And there's a part of me that's like, okay, I've done, oh, actually, before we even get there, I've done coaching, one-on-one, group, community, intensives. I have podcasts, I have YouTube channels, I have Instagram, I have things going on, right? And there's just this part of me that's like, okay, if you're stepping into doing this movement, well, what's going to be fundamentally different? How are you going to show up differently? And what ended up happening was that I had a conversation for a podcast that I was going to say featured, but it's not it. I got to be on. I'm a guest on a podcast. It's called Keep in Touch with Anna and Kate, with Anna Jordan and Kate Lafsky, and the two of them are really great at coming up with provocative conversations, and there's a whole lot of curiosity as well. And so we're in that conversation, and I realized as we're having it, I'm like, this is it. This is a world joy conversation. Why? Because we created it as a world joy conversation in the sense that I know for myself, even in the onset of lining things up, I was speaking to what I like, how I wanted to be in this conversation, as well as just the natural curiosity that the two of them bring to the table. And so the the elements that were really showing up as this was going along, uh, it was it was just like the elements that were showing up were just like this element of wow, we're really in conversation. This feels great to be in this for something that is even larger than ourselves. And simultaneously, simultaneously, I got the feeling afterwards of saying, I can't wait to do this on my like for through the World Joy movement. And we're organizing just 10,000 conversations. We're powering 10,000 conversations. I'm organizing 30 days worth of conversations coming up right now. And I then came out here to share. I was like, okay, yeah, this is what it's about. Let me come and share a bit about this. And you'll see this in the video, but there was an element of this that on one level was low energy. It felt like I'm like, oh, hey, like there's this insight that I'm trying to bring out to the world. Okay, that's one. But on the other end was this internal battle, and the internal battle ultimately won with the side of looking good, looking like I have it together, coming up on top, right? And the looking like I had it together was is this the way that you really want to launch this? Is this the way that you want to put this out in the world? No, take it down, get your graphics together, do these things, and like really make it look good and shiny and all that. Let them know that you're showing up differently for this, and it isn't just like yeah, another thing that you're tossing together. No, this has been in a month in the making. I just don't want it to be 3 months in the making, you know. So there's a part that was just like, let's just get this out there, and go. But I noticed my energy. My energy was low, and then my ego was high personally, and so I took down the video. Uh, and I wanted to come in here and just get back, like just check myself and my own integrity around it, the integrity of expression. Like that's the one video that I've taken down in 3 years, and the idea of me self censoring, and as we launch the World Joy movement, a movement that is based on liberating ourselves from silence and repressing who we are to actually just expressing it and feeling like experiencing that feeling of belonging on a regular basis, like that needed to be done, that needed to come to life. And so I'm out here making sure that I check myself and get back into integrity with that. We are launching an amazing set of conversations, and that's what I know right now. Each conversation is specifically tailored and designed to be thought provoking, but more than that, heart provoking, feeling provoking, emotion provoking. Like, we're in here to go beyond the surface levels of conversations to something that's meaningful for us on a personal level. I just finished a conversation with Anna and Kate, and once that becomes available, I'll be sure to share. But we had a conversation really diving into to cancer culture, and one of the things that came up was this topic of, the universal definition versus the personal definition. And what really became apparent to me was, like, actually, the reason that this is important is because it has, like, on a universal level, is because it hits people so personally. So we cannot ignore one for the other. These are spaces that we get to come together in and be, it's purposefully, without having to have an answer at the end of it all. It reminds me of the conversations I had in college, where we can sit down, pick a topic, and just allow ourselves to be and explore in that topic and to see where things went. Over the years, I've picked up more skills than just conversation, continuing conversations, but we've gotten a chance to be able to see, how can we make things deeper? How can we make things touch our hearts, our souls, and beyond? And this each conversation in and of itself is a representation of the world that we want to see in the future. Actually, the world that we want to be able to live in, both now and in the future. And so I get very excited about this here, and I want to make sure that my excitement is in alignment with the way that I'm expressing it. And at the same time, I also want to make sure I'm not holding myself to either a standard that is unnecessary, or living out of integrity with the entire purpose of the movement, which is to come as you are, because you are already more than enough, and you belong exactly as you are, right? So I'm bringing this into the world. I cannot go back to undeleting something, and I'm happy that I did take it down, even if all that came out of it was this conversation. I feel back in alignment. I feel back in integrity, and from that place here, I humbly and excitedly welcome you to the World Joy movement and the World Joy conversations. They are participatory. We don't have any, like, we're not having panels and experts that are leading conversations, just like three or four people talking to each other. No, it's about you getting the chance to talk to other strangers or other people that you know about topics that are on your mind, on your heart, that are weighing down on you, that you haven't even realized that you haven't had the space to explore yet. Like, that's what I'm offering you. That's what we offer you through the World Joy movement. And this is something that, from the beginning, you might see my face, but it's so much more than me, which is tremendous to say. We are bringing together trailblazers to shape a more joyful world. And I would love, love, love for you to come be a part of this movement. I would love for you to come be a part of whatever it is that we're creating and co-creating together. That's the message I have for you. That feels like it's in integrity. And I will also make sure to share the me's that came up, because all that is expression, and all that works. Go to beworldjoy.com, and if you go to beworldjoy.com, that's where we're hosting all the different events. You can get our calendar of events. We also it's a free community where you can go and meet some of the other trailblazers that are out there, shifting and shaping the world. I'm not doing it. It's a platform that I've chosen to go and do it on, for several different reasons, and you're invited to come and be a part of it there. All right? Go to beworldjoy.com, and we'll continue to play from there. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, Niiamah here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and then go ahead and leave one of your insights from today's video in the comments below. If you're looking to take this deeper, you can go and watch another video, or you can go to niiamah.com/tribe to get exclusive invitation to our tribe member only events. I'll see you soon.